In this video we're going to do something a little bit different and have a look at some apps that I made called Glyphs that you may like to use in creating characters, props and scenes for your animations. So this is the Glif website here, and as you can see on the logo here, it's Glif Alpha. This actual site is only in alpha release at the moment, so it's completely free. And just be aware that if you sign up, you are limited to only 20 runs in total of apps a day. So you'll see here under my account, daily rate limit is 20. So I can only run any app I want, a total of 20 times collectively. So if I use 3 apps, I've only got 20 runs across the 3 apps. So I'm not going to go into how you build a glyph or how these things work. This video is mainly to show you the glyphs that I've built. A glyph is basically a small app that uses AI to create like a niche program that does one specific thing. So you'll get the idea once I start to demonstrate my own glyphs, which we'll go to my page now. So this is my profile page, and I'll leave a link to this in the description so that you can get to here easily and access all of my actual glyphs. You see I've got 4 here. We've got 3-angle prop generator, a 3-pose 2D character turnaround generator, a backdrop art generator, and a front-facing A-pose generator. This one here is the first one that I made, and I sort of progressively went across making these 3 other ones. Now, essentially how these glyphs work is they allow you to take a prompt that you might have input into any AI generator tool. For example, I use Flux Schnell on another site called Lumen, which is where I experimented with creating these prompts for these programs. And then they let you take the bones of that particular prompt and slot in variables so that you can easily change the prompt but still get the same basic output. So if that explanation sounds a bit confusing, hopefully it'll be clearer once I start to demonstrate these projects. As you can see here, these aren't my generations of this T-pose generator, A-pose T-pose generator. People have been using this, so this is what someone else has done. We scroll down, you can see different generations, and all this does is allow you to produce any character prompt in a T-pose like this, or a TA pose, that you can easily then rig in a program like Cartoon Animator. How this works is that I've made my app just asks for 3 different prompts from the user. So for this particular generator, we've got this first prompt: your character is male, female, anthropomorphic male or anthropomorphic female, which is basically characters like you see in movies like Zootopia, where it's an animal character but it has human-like qualities. And then you've got this prompt here, which is describe your character, and it says do not describe their pose for obvious reasons, because we're wanting to get a T-pose, so you don't need to describe the pose. And you don't want to describe the background because we want to have this nice clean background that makes it easy to turn the character into a transparent PNG ready for importing into, say, Cartoon Animator to be rigged. And lastly, we've got this cartoon style, and you'll see Pixar is the default, but we can also do anime, no outlines, flat illustrations with flat color fills, or outlines with flat color fills. We've got whiteboard with black outlines and all white fills, and then photorealism. Now with all of these glyphs that I've made, they've got these same 6 options here, and it's very important that in your description that you don't prompt for anything that affects the art style. So if you're prompting for a whiteboard character, which is this style of character here, with this female character that's all black and white, if you mention even a single color in your description up here, it will affect the art style and you will get color in your character. So if you're prompting for a whiteboard character, don't mention any colors in the description. Generally, you want to keep that in mind for all characters. If you're going for one of these 6 art styles, you don't need to specify in the description those art styles as well. And any other art styles that you mention could also affect the outcome and stop you from getting the cartoon style in the list. So, for example, if I select no outlines with flat illustration and flat color fills, and then I put the word cartoon or comic in the description, comics tend to have outlines, so you'll probably get outlines on this style, even though the cartoon style there's no outline. It'll be your input saying comic that'll add that outline to the output. So again, really think about your prompts and check that they don't influence the art style in any way. So I haven't really thought up any prompts for this, but I guess we can just start by making up a simple prompt. So let's say we just want a male wearing casual clothes, so we just go a young adult wearing casual clothes. And you don't have to get really detailed. You're not directly prompting an AI here and doing all the massively detailed prompts. The Glyph itself has already got a detailed prompt. You're just inserting variables into the prompt to get what you want. So keep your descriptions as simple as possible is my recommendation. And I'm going to start with the Pixar style, and we'll just run the Glyph by clicking the button. You'll see it working away. It's pretty quick. There we go. We've got a young adult wearing casual clothes. You'll notice his arms aren't completely out in a full T pose. Much as I tried really hard to get this consistent, it doesn't always work in getting a T pose. So if you don't get a T pose the first time, it's sometimes worth running again just to see if you can get that T pose. Given that I've only got 20 runs, I'm not going to dwell on this too much. That's just showing you the Pixar style. Once you've got your character, you can download it and share it. You can like it, save it to your account. You can delete this, or you can zoom in on it and get a really good look at it that way. These images come out at 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. I would recommend you upscale them before you use them for animation so that you get more detail. Typically, I'd upscale them to 4096 pixels by 4096 pixels. And there are plenty of sites that will do that, and they'll even enhance the picture even a little bit more as you do that. So I'm just going to demonstrate a different art style. So if we do anime, we run it again, you can see there now we've got an anime character, and his arms are much better for being in like an A pose at the moment. So this character here, that actual pose is pretty ideal for rigging, and you'll notice characters are getting saved down here, so you don't have to worry about saving this out. But if you do see something you like, I would recommend downloading it to your computer. We'll go to the next one. No outline, flat illustration and color fills. I'm just going to run through all 6 so you can see the different art styles. You see there we've got now a T pose. We've still got a bit of an outline, but it's more of a colored outline, so colored areas have got a color outline on them. Have a closer look. So it's not just an all black outline. Sometimes a bit hit and miss with that particular style. Sometimes I've been able to get really good flat color and no outlines. It just depends on what you're actually prompting for. We'll go to the next one. We've got outlines with flat color fills. We'll run that. You'll see that one, the difference is it's got a more prominent outline and it's all the one color. We'll go to whiteboard. You can see there, perfectly good for rigging as a whiteboard character, no colour in it. I might just do one here just to demonstrate how just even adding a colour in here will affect this. So if we go adult wearing, young adult, and I'll go with brown hair, wearing casual clothes. Remember, we've got the whiteboard style, so we'll see if saying the word brown affects the output. You can see there, immediately we've got brown in the hair, even though we were expecting whiteboard with black outlines. But that's just to show you when you are describing your character that you can affect the art style. So just be careful of that. If you are really wanting complete whiteboard, any mention of color in here will we'll likely get the color coming out in the output. So I'm going to get rid of the with brown here, and we'll go to the last art style, which is photorealism. And there you go. That's probably borderline usable with the way the arms are. You can sort of pretty much get that, but you might run it again if that was too close to the sides there. That's basically the same in terms of the art style for all of my 4 apps. Now I'm going to go back to my profile and we'll look at my second app. Or we'll go to my third app, which is for characters as well. This is my attempt at getting a 3-angle turnaround of the same character, and you can see here that people have been using this one. And if we have a look down, you can see it's a bit hit and miss. The idea is to get something like this, where you've got a 3/4 view, a front-facing T or A pose view, and a profile view. But you can see here sometimes it goes completely awry, where you get 2 front views, and who even knows what that is. It's a profile view, but I've no idea why his head got turned into a dolphin. But as with all AI, it can be a bit of a crapshoot getting exactly what you want, but these particular apps tend to be a little more consistent. You can see here, sometimes like we're missing an arm here, sometimes he's got his arms folded, but generally we're getting the 3 poses that we're looking for. So we'll try just doing my same character. We'll do maybe a casual female, go a young adult wearing casual clothes. Again, we'll try the Pixar animation style, hit run. And there we go, we've got borderline 3/4 pose, almost there, but probably like to see that turned a bit more, but this is a straight on pose, very usable. And then we've got this profile pose. Again, that's very usable as well, probably do quite a bit with that. And I'll just choose one of the other styles. We'll try the no outline flat illustration, see what we get with that. There you go, it's a similar style where it does have some outlines, but the outlines are actually in the colour of the sort of area that they're in. So when you get up close, you can see the outlines are blue on the jumper and sort of they're brown and whatever. Do one where it's an anthropomorphic female. With the anthropomorphic characters, you do have to mention what type of animal you want them to be. Otherwise, it'll be completely random as to what you get. So let's make her maybe a cat. So a young adult. You don't need to do young, we can just go a cat wearing casual clothes. Maybe we'll try it with outlines and flat colour fills, just so we get a different style and see what we get. And there we go, now she's an anthropomorphic cat. Again, 3/4 views, not the best. Would be nice if she was turned a little bit more, but this one's pretty usable and that's pretty usable as well. So that's how that one works if you really want the 3-character turnaround. This one isn't as consistent as the single character one where you nearly always get the T pose, but still useful to try. And again, when you're doing your descriptions, avoid including anything that describes the art style or trying to adjust the pose because the prompt is already telling the AI what pose it should be in. Don't mention any background elements. So next we'll go to the backdrop art generator just to show you how this one works. A little bit more to this one, and as you can see, people have been trying this one out as well, getting some interesting results. Different rooms, as you can see, you can put people into your scenes if you want, and you can do interiors and exteriors with this. It doesn't make any difference with the way I've set it up. So the way this one works is you choose the time of day for your scene. So you've got dawn, morning, midday, mid-afternoon, evening, sunset and nighttime. And then each scene is divided into 3 planes. So if you imagine the foreground is the things that you want closest to the camera. So if you look at these images here, you've got this boat in the foreground. So that would be in your foreground description. The midground is what you want to see sort of between your foreground and the horizon. So again, in this boat here, we've got the sea and a jetty. So that might be your midground description. And then the background horizon could be anything from distant mountains to, I don't know, clouds in the sky, just anything that's really far away from the camera. And then again, we've got the same 6 art styles. styles. So again, when you're doing your prompts, try not to describe the art style or anything that would influence the art style if you want to be faithful to these styles here. So I'm going to do 2 generations, an outdoor one and an indoor one. So we'll keep this at sunset for now, and say in the foreground to say we're doing a prompt for a city. So let's go in the foreground, a city parkland area with a lookout. See if I can leave it that limited. And the midground, we've got the buildings of city with roads and traffic. And for the background, we'll go the city skyline with light clouds in the sky. And we'll see what that gets us. I might start out with the photorealism just to see how that looks. There you go. So if we compare that back to our prompt, we've got city parkland area with a lookout. So we've got parkland here, obviously got a lookout. He's probably getting more into midground territory, but it's definitely in the foreground of the image, so that's good. And the midground of the scene, we've got buildings of a city with roads and traffic. We've definitely got that out here. Roads, traffic. That car's looking a bit big compared to some of the others, but who knows? It's a bit of a fisheye lens view. And then on the horizon, in the background, we've got city skyline with light clouds in the sky. So we've definitely got that. City skyline. And this is all happening at sunset. So that's how this thing works. Perhaps we'll give this another shot. See what we get in a different art style. Let's try, see what this turns out like with the flat illustration style. There you go, that's not a bad version of flat illustration. We've got parkland in the foreground, got roads and city in the midground, and in the background we've got a city skyline. It's at sunset and we've got light clouds. If we look at this one really closely, there's not an outline in sight, so that's a really good version of flat color illustration. I'm going to do one that's of a room, just so you can see how that would work. So this time we'll do maybe morning, and we're going to do a dining room setting. So we'll go a dining room table with chairs. The foreground for interiors, you generally want to describe the furniture and any other significant props that you want in the foreground of the image. And in the midground, you should mention that it's a room and what room it is and what's on the walls. So I'm going to say a dining room with artwork, with framed artwork on the walls and French doors leading outside to a deck. I'm not sure if we're going to get the actual deck, but we'll see. And then for the background horizon, I found if you've got windows in your room, it's good to describe what can be seen outside the windows. So seen through the windows is rolling hills and countryside. And we might try a Pixar version of that and see what we get. There you go, that's not too bad. Probably not what I had in mind. I probably wanted more dining room table than that, but as you can see, we definitely got a dining room. We've got a table and we've got chairs in the foreground. Midground, we asked for framed artwork on the walls. We asked for French doors leading out to a deck, which I'm quite surprised that actually worked, and we got that. Got some framed artwork there. Got this sideboard, which we didn't ask for, but you know, dining rooms aren't usually completely empty. And then in the background, we've got seen through the windows, rolling hills and countryside, and this definitely looks like a morning shot going by what's out there with the sun rising in the morning. So there you go. I might just do one more run, see what we get with the flat illustration style. There we go. That's probably a little more what I had in mind previously, or what I had in mind when I was writing the prompt, having more of a dining table with more chairs. But again, everything's there. We've got table and chairs, we've got the framed art on the wall, we've got French doors, even got a deck, and we've got rolling hills and countryside. And it's all in the art style of no outlines and flat illustrations. So that's enough of a look at this one. We'll go to the last one, which is the newest one, which is my prop generator. I haven't done as much testing on this one as yet. But you can see we had one failure there, and then we've got this bunny rabbit character. I've been trying stuff. These are all my generations. This is the first time I'm making this one public. But like the 3-character turnaround generator, my thought here was to try and get a single prop shown from multiple angles. So the ideal is probably this one of the chest here, where you've got like a 3/4 view, a front view, and a profile view. But it's just to give you options and to try and get a similar prop each time. And I will say I have tried this with generating cars and vehicles and spaceships, and it's not particularly good at those, but it works better with smaller prop like this plushy bunny rabbit that I did. Prompts here, you've got whether you want the prop to be new, well worn, old, weathered and dirty, or broken and falling apart. And then again, we've got the description of your prop. And again, don't include any art style or try to position it or talk about the background of the prop. You just want to focus on what the prop is and the important features of the prop. Same 6 art styles, and that's it. So let's just do an office chair just to be easy, and we go and get this an ergonomic office chair. See what we get from that. Run, going to be brand new, and there you go. We've got like this side view. I don't know who would have the backrest that far forward on an office chair, but nevertheless you've still got your side view, 3/4 view and front view. So let's try something else. Try something old, weathered and dirty. We'll just do something simple like a chest of drawers made of wood. Go unpainted wood, and we'll do that. Try it as photorealism just to see what that would look like. I don't know how weathered that looks, so we may be saying unpainted wood might be affecting it. Might take unpainted out, just made of wood. You can see we've got the 3/4 view, front view and side view, and we'll try what broken and falling apart looks like, and we'll do it as Pixar. Yeah, it's not too bad. We've got the front one broken and falling apart. Not so much happening there. Not so much happening there. As I said, this one, I haven't tested it as much, but generally it works okay. I might just show you what it's like with bigger props, just so you know what to expect if you're going to give that a go. Let's say an old Ford motor car. Leave it at that, and we'll do old, weathered and dirty, and we'll do it outlines with flat color fills. Now I'm not expecting this to work at all. As I said, it's not particularly good at big props, so if this works out, I'll be very surprised. There you go. This one's probably usable, that one's usable, but as you can see, the side angle is completely messed up, and I suspect that's because there's actually not enough room to draw it out here, but that's the kind of thing you're sort of going to get with the bigger props if you try them, so just be aware that it generally works better with smaller props. I've only got one generation left, so we might do this again, but we'll do it on a different style. See what that would come out like as a Pixar prop. So there you go. It's not kind of usable, but we don't have any of the back here. And there's no way that this glyph will allow you to do one prop at a time, like one angle of a prop at a time. It always does the 3 angles, so just be aware of that. So that's my 4 glyphs. Feel free to use them and try them out however you want. As I said at the start, the Glif website is an alpha site, so it may become a paid site in the future, but for now this is completely free. You can sign up and you'll get 20 free runs of any app on the site. There's plenty that you can explore. If we go to Glyphs and the explore page, there's all kinds of things, apps that you can try out beyond mine. And there's actually some quite fun things in here, like this action figure one is pretty good. I've tried that one out and it's really good. So I hope you found this demonstration interesting, and if any of those apps look useful to you, feel free to try them out and use them in your own productions. All the output that you get from them can be used in both personal and commercial projects, because the AI they're using is Flux Schnell, which has a commercial license attached to it. I don't know how long Glyph's going to be around and how long the site's going to be free for, but if you do use it, feel free to let me know, leave a comment, show me what you get out of it, and if you have any ideas for other glyphs that I could put together, feel free to comment with those ideas as well. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Till the next video, bye for now.